When managing forest lands, there are always situations to deal with. On the last video, we had a bark beetle situation over there. Today, we have another situation over here. The situation is I made a big mess over here this fall and didn't clean it up. Mostly firewood material, but we have a few saw logs in there. Borderline saw logs. Then another tree that came down in the snowstorm. This Douglas fir had a hard lean on it, and the snow load was too much for it. This will have some good saw logs in it. Now look what I just found. Looks like somebody made an angled back cut and tried to hide the evidence again, this time behind a tree. I thought these things got burned up. I mean, I can imagine somebody would have burned these up. I need to get rid of these for good before somebody finds them and thinks I would have made an angled back cut like that. You want to know a little secret for getting rid of evidence when you're out in the woods? A place where nobody will find it? If you can find an uprooted tree, there's usually going to be a hole in the ground. Right where the root wad was lifted up out of it. What happens in the woods stays in the woods. If we pull straight on this, it's either going to get hung up or scrape up against this pine tree. So we'll put a breakaway block in and redirect the pull temporarily. Instead of hooking to a tree, possibly damaging it, I like to go to a stump if I can, especially in the spring when the bark is tender. This one was too crooked to make a good saw log, so I dumped it in the firewood pile. That is all the saw logs I have to get out of here. The rest of this is just firewood. I have a few more saw logs I can get down there, but they can go out that way. With the firewood, it's going to make it a lot easier if I can yard the logs up into the road and cut the firewood up in the road. That'll make it easier for loading it up later. But in order to do that, I would have to block the road off, which means I couldn't get out because the road would be blocked off. Then I would have to stay up here forever and ever. So before we do that, we're going to move the equipment out and have the equipment on the downhill. That's actually downhill, I don't know if you can tell. Actually, downhill doesn't matter. On the get out side. We're going to have our stuff on the get out side. We got to do a little rearranging. When I do a video like this, it's not uncommon for someone to say, hang that block up in a tree so you get some lift on those logs. That could be good advice, but I don't know if you've noticed, we're missing a certain ingredient for that. There's not a tree here to hang the block on, which is a lot of times the case. There is a tree over there that is big enough, but if I hung a block on those, I would have had to pull through these trees, which would be in the way, or scrape up against them. There's a tree over there, but if I hung the block on that one, I would have had to pull through these trees, which are in the way. To pull logs through this open area, I needed the block to be right there, where there's no tree. And in a case like this, if I'm only doing 3, 4, 5 turns of small logs, is it really worth climbing up a tree, attaching the block up there, possibly damaging the tree for just a few turns that went just fine the way we did it? That's why I typically don't tell people what to do when I know they probably have a better point of view of what's going on when they are the ones actually doing the thing. That pretty well cleaned this spot up. We'll come back in the fall or winter, burn the rest of the slash. Got it now so it's pretty low to the ground, not really much of a fire hazard. We'll load this saw log up and a couple more I have down the road. The right rear tractor tire was in a hole, which made the forks approach the trailer tilted. When working in the woods, a lot of times situations are not going to be ideal. You just have to learn to work with the situations you have, just like with life.